So that wasn't all that happened at New Japan. I got sent a clip, which we had heard about, but hadn't quite seen the full context of. And it was Gabe Kidd. I would say berating you is what I would say. And then maybe conveniently, once the media shows up, he turns that physical. I can tell you that Gabe Kidd was all too excited to talk to me about it. He was very happy to discuss how he felt about it. I'm not sure if you've seen what he said about it. No. Have you? No. Would you like to see a clip of what he said?
Sure.
But Kenny Omega is actually not cleared yet, at least as far as I know. He's faced a
I don't give a shit if he's not cleared. I don't give a shit if he's not cleared. He shouldn't have been talking shit.
He had diverticulitis.
And he got slapped up. What?
He had diverticulitis. Like, he almost died.
I don't give a shit what he had. All I know is he had some stomach injury that has put him out for a year. That's a bitch move. And I don't get high verticulitis. I don't care if he's going to wish that killed him off. He's going to wish that high verticulitis killed him off if he gets in the ring with me. The beating that I put on him is going to be ridiculous, man. He's a fucking prick and an unprofessional one of that little bitch.
Lots to unpack there. To call you unprofessional after that was interesting. I can confirm it is diverticulitis, not high verticulitis. You didn't get attacked by bees or anything that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is after you guys had the physical altercation that over 1 million people saw on social media, YouTube, and the like.
Yeah. I was, yeah, truthfully, I've said it before many times. There are certain things in the locker room that shouldn't be shared to the general public. And I think this was one of the locker room spats that didn't need to be shown to the world. And I think that it could have been handled so much differently, and it's so silly.
He says it's because you got his name wrong, which I did see that clip.
Sure.
Was that you playing around, or did you?
No.
You didn't know his name.
Okay. So here's the thing with that, and I'm not sure if the video played. I had taken so many videos that day at the New Japan office. And they kept asking me about, what are some of the names of the young talents that you have an interest in? And I am always a proponent of helping prop up the younger talent. I'm always a proponent of doing what I can for the next generation to rise up. And, having to turn that switch off and on between Japanese to English, I got flustered, and I had said Greg Kidd in the heat of the moment, and seeing that there was a camera on and that it was being recorded, I had immediately said, as soon as I was corrected, don't use that. I wouldn't say it was unprofessional, but I wouldn't want that to be aired as though I don't understand or know of someone's name in New Japan. Because it's not that I didn't know it. As soon as they said Gabe, I said, yes. The truth is, I know more Gregs in wrestling than I do Gabes. I know many Gregs that are wrestlers, and I think the only Gabe that I know of in wrestling is a booker, matchmaker, promoter guy. Mm-hmm. So, it was more of a natural response when I'm banging off names, boom, 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 that Greg slips out instead of Gabe. And after I said that, and someone yelled out, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Chris Charlton or whatever. And he had said, "Oh no, Gabe." And everyone's chuckling, And I said, oh, and of course, it's just me. It's just us in that office. So I'm laughing too. And I said, oh, geez, that's going to look terrible. Let's cut that, guys. And I guess it made it in, or someone had told Gabe that, yeah, he fucked up your name. I feel bad about it.
So you can understand why some people, especially those who have watched you for a long time, might think that you're not being genuine. Because I remember
Sure.
being on media calls with you when in the Access days, and you would throw in little things like, yeah, the Japanese talent is lazy. And there'd be a little smile on your face, knowing that you know how
Yeah.
you know how
No.
to
Yeah.
you know how to get under somebody's skin. The Will
Sure,
Ospreay
sure.
stuff. I
But
spoke with you about it.
I'm trying to promote a joint venture between
Sure.
AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling. It doesn't do us any favors for me to not know who it is that we're working with.
Fair.
You know, I'm trying to promote both brands equally. And not only that, in fact, I'm trying to promote AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, CMLL, and Startups as well.
It's
So
CMLL. It's two L's. I don't want you to get jumped over that.
CMLL, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't want anybody attacking you over that.
Absolutely. So for me to slip up in that way, that's my bad. Should it have been put out in the public like that? No, and I'd ask specifically for it not to be. And sure, all of that you can chalk it up to me not knowing, you know, maybe I had a brain fart, whatever. That's my bad. And I'm willing to own up to it. But then you have on the day of the show, when it's live, I try to make the wrong right by saying all the right things, not only about the working relationship between AEW and New Japan, but I really try to make this a rah-rah New Japan day. As soon as I come back, I do the backstage interview. Around the corner, here we have Gabe with Robbie X, another person that I'd never met until that day. Okay? And Robbie, consummate professional, shakes my hand. We do the casual wrestling greeting. No big deal. Gabe, here's my first chance to shake this guy's hand. You know, hopefully smooth things over, make the wrong right. And he goes into this huge spiel right away about me not knowing his name. I mean, if you really think about it, why would you get so mad about a tiny little slip up? You know, I'll tell you a little story actually. And this really goes to show perhaps the maturity level of someone like Gabe. When I was a few years into the business, I actually went to TNA for a tryout. And I don't know if you remember or if the fans remember, but back then they were doing like a World Cup kind of thing.
Yep.
And I'd really hoped, it was like a dream, like, could I please be on Team Canada? Is there any possibility that there's a spot for me there? And if not, could I at least make an introduction and work towards that? And that was the first day I'd met Scott D'Amore. Not the first day I'd met him, but the first day I'd actually been able to have a conversation with him. Long story short, he kept calling me Trevor over and over and over and over and over again. My name is Tyson. Mm-hmm. And he kept calling me Trevor and Trevor and Trevor and Trevor. This was a situation where I knew that he knew what my name was, but I wasn't going to let it faze me. I wasn't going to sell it. I just knew that he wanted to put himself, you know, above me in that situation, or maybe see how I was going to react to it. But I wasn't going to sell it. And I think by doing that, you know, it helped rapport with everyone there. You know, Gabe, on the other hand, being however many years he is in the business, he would have responded in a complete different fashion. So, you know, for some, again, honest mix up with me, I called him one time on an interview on a section of an interview that shouldn't have aired. I call him Greg.
I think that I've known Gabe for a few years now. I've interviewed him a number of times, and somehow I've been exempt from his wrath, of which I'm very grateful. But
yeah,
I can tell you what he's probably thinking, and he's probably thinking he won't forget my name now. That's probably how he views this, is that you will never forget his name at this point.
I think he saw it as an opportunity to be a headline. That's what I think it was. I think that there are two types of people. I mean, you could really make it into subcategories if you want to. But you have guys who, when they get heated, they're going to want to fight, and they're going to want to settle things that way. And in the same breath, you have guys like Gabe who will claim they want to fight, but they'll bring a friend along like Robbie X just in case things don't go their way so they can break it up. I should have seen the clues as soon as Gabe started to get in my face and talk about me forgetting his name over and over and over and over and over again, but I didn't. I did sense that he was feeling incredibly hostile towards me. And you know, everyone's got their own personal space bubble. I don't know this guy from a glory hole in the wall. And he's like right up in my grill, talking to me, pointing at me. It's incredibly disrespectful.